Okay, Infinite Megahertz, and we're here with Paul of
3D Realms Entertainment.
Now, as you know, with 3D Realms, they started out with a few different products, and of course, the most popular one we've had so far is
Duke Nukem 3D.
Duke
absolutely.
Nukem, and Duke Nukem, of course, is a great, first-person perspective game. Everybody happens to love it, even above other games that have been released after it.
Which, yeah, we're pretty surprised about. Well, one of the things that's kind of interesting about 3D Realms is, actually, it's, you've heard of Apogee Software.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
3D Realms is sort of like the, the Ford Lincoln Continental. It's the premium brand name of Apogee Software. And Apogee's actually been around for a long time, over a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Has published, I think, over 30 games.
Mm-hmm.
Pioneered the shareware marketing method that we call the Apogee model.
Mm-hmm.
And with, I think it started with Terminal Velocity. That sort of action game was when 3D Realms kind of came into being.
Mm-hmm.
When we really decided that, wow, we want to sort of take the industry and just show them what people who really love to play games can do.
And that's what counts in the long run, is the people who love to play the games are now making the games, as opposed to some other areas where it's a PR person telling them what they should make.
Absolutely, and actually we're really kind of lucky at 3D Realms.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're a small company, we only have 20 developers.
Mm-hmm.
We only work on 2 in-house projects at a time.
Mm-hmm.
We really aren't structured by the whole quarter system, that whole business model that drives everybody crazy who's trying to produce creative work. So our games, our sort of tagline is our games are done when they're done.
Exactly.
And what that means to us is the game is done when we play it more than any other game we've ever played before. It's the most fun game. Then we think other people will probably like it.
Yep. Now you have a release coming out very soon by the name of Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior. Yeah, the shareware version's out there. You can download it anywhere. And about 6 weeks for the registered version to be done. And that's an engine or a game using the build engine, our technology that we used in Duke Nukem 3D. We're kind of pushing past Duke in Shadow Warrior. We're taking the build engine as far as you can go. It seems like it's true 3D, even though it's a different technology kind of engine. But we've got interactivity like you would not believe.
And it runs on the lower machines, and it's coming out now, whereas we have some other ones that have to, I've been seeing, well, we need only this type of technology, or you're going to need a Pentium 166 MMX to run our machines. And as you were telling us earlier, you have Prey, which is coming out much later, which is your next project, or a project you're actually working on right now.
Yeah, well, we actually have a couple things that we're working on right now. We're wrapping up Shadow Warrior right now. The Shadow Warrior team is just going through the last... I liken it to their painters. They're working on their levels, and it's never quite done for them.
They're looking for that little piece of lint that was just bothering them and trying to get rid of it.
Exactly. And when that's done, it's probably when George, the president of 3D Realms, just says, "Stop working. It's done. It's perfect." But another smaller team is beginning work on Duke Nukem Forever, the next Duke Nukem game, which is using the Quake engine of all things. Great engine, and we're really excited about that. Once the Shadow Warrior team is done, they're moving over to Duke Forever.
Great.
So that team's in place.
And your second project, of course, is the Prey team?
It's the Prey team, and I'm project leader of the Prey team, serving as sort of producer-designer. And that's something that we're really excited about. We're shooting for probably shareware release sometime summer of '98, so we're a ways away. But we're kind of here at the show just kind of giving a little taste of what we're doing, because we're
tease.
Really, tease. And it's been kind of fun because we're really trying to do something to basically jump over the games that are in the progress now. Jump past Quake, jump past Quake 2, jump past Unreal. I mean, those are going to be absolutely great
a typical
games.
Intel product where they're making the chips that you're going to be using 3 generations ahead.
Yeah. But actually, I mean, we're not really so reliant on all that crazy technology. The one decision that we made with Prey is it has to be a 3D accelerated game. We have to have a 3D accelerator.
Sure.
But next year, I think that'll be okay.
That's going to be very standard, and next year, by the time that rolls around, most people will have the 3D accelerators.
Yeah.
And by that time also, they're going to have much, much faster machines. I mean, we have to all take into account that this is the computer world, and in the computer world, things move that fast.
And the other thing is...
and if you're building it with your machine technology now...
Yeah.
All I can think of is in the future, everybody's not going to see things like lag. They're not going to see any sort of refreshes that come across.
We're hoping that. I mean, the one thing that's kind of neat about the people who play computer games like religiously, it's almost an obsessive hobby for them, is they upgrade all the time. And in a way, it makes our job harder because we have to keep pushing the hardware limits and making games faster, more incredible. But we're pretty sure that if we require a P200 for a certain game, most people who want to play that game will already have PT1s if they're fanatic game players. So it's a nice. They work together really well, the industry and the fanatic players.
Now, Shadow Warrior, you have what kind of requirements on a hardware level?
Shadow Warrior basically needs a baseline Pentium, and that's essentially it.
And that's because you're using the old Duke Nukem 3D engine.
Yeah, which actually that would run on a 4633 just fine.
Yeah.
Not multiplayer and all that stuff.
Right.
It could run just fine, but we're kind of bumping up we're stretching the engine to its absolute max. I mean, it's pretty much the end of life of the build engine. You just can't go any further; it'll just explode. But what we've done with it is pretty spectacular. But if you have a Pentium, you can run it and run it well.
And then Prey, of course, it's a 98 game, and being it's a 3D accelerated game. Now, I see Prey in front of me here. Could you give us a little walkthrough?
Yeah, I could show you. Let me just tell you a few things that make Prey a little bit different. Basically, what we're showing here is sort of a little technology demo. I got firearm weapon there.
Oh, wow.
What's kind of cool about Prey is we're using what we call portal technology. It's a different way to break up 3D geometry. And let me zoom over here, and I'm going to do something that's kind of cool. I'm going to create a dynamic portal, a hole in space. I don't know if you can see that, but it has no height, no width. It's not really an object. It's just a tear in space. I can go through it, turn around, there it is, and I can close it like a window shade, and I'm somewhere else. Now that's something that has never been attempted before. But
usually have the wavy door. You don't really see beyond.
But
right?
yeah, and what's going on here is actually physical rip in three-dimensional space. I mean, this is truly mathematically a 4D engine, but our engine program's got to explain it because my head explodes. So I thought I'd get around that. But what that gives you play-wise is it gives you the ability to imagine opening a portal to a level on a different server on the internet. Being able to set a send and receive port you can create in a deathmatch game, so you can create your own areas where you jump around.
And bounce back and forth between each other's areas, for instance.
And what we're actually able to do is our portal technology means our environments are completely dynamic. They are basically 100% real time. And if you just zoom down here, here's a little thing that I got to show you. There's a little guy over here who's going to jump over here. You notice we have a reflective marble floor.
Yes.
Which is absolutely beautiful, and it reflects the character. The thing is that no other game to date has been able to do this without a speed hit. Because of the way our engine works, no speed hit whatsoever. I mean, we're running this right now, and it's probably 45 to 50 frames a second on a 166 with 32 megs of RAM and just a standard 3D effects card. So we're pretty confident that we're not going to just require all this hardware for our players to play.
Yes.
And we've got a lot of other things that we're working on, but basically the key point with Prey is we're really trying to take a different approach. And we've been pretty excited by the reaction we've had. We've sort of having the back room here because we just want to give people a little taste, and people come away kind of blown away. And we're just completely jazzed.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, and I can't believe that I'm still conscious after 3 years of doing this. I love it. It's great.
Well, E3 is the place to be. Well, thank you very much, Paul. Really appreciate the walkthroughs and some of the information, and maybe we'll have a bigger interview with you and a couple of your developers later.
Great. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. One year later, we're meeting with Paul about Prey. Now, Prey's made some great advances over the past year.
We think so.
I'd love for you to show me what you've got over what we saw last year. It looks just awesome now.
Oh, thanks very much. Well, yeah, I'd love to show you some stuff. We've come leaps and bounds. We're probably about 80 to 90% done with our technology. And man, it's a lot of work starting from scratch. But what I hopefully can show you is some things that will kind of educate the people who are watching your show about what makes our game a little bit different and what kind of gameplay they can expect that they've never seen before. So let me go right to my monitor and let's just blast right in here. Now the first thing you should do is ignore this environment I'm running around. It's something I built and not one of our mappers, but it's a good educational tool. Last year you guys learned about our engine is using what they call portal technology.
Right.
Oh cool, I blew that up. And portal technology is sort of a fundamentally different way to work with an environment. If you noticed, I did some things there. I blew up a little rocket ship. I blew up a platform. Any quality 3D engine can do that. That's really not that spectacular. But last year we were talking about all of our geometries handle real time.
So the explosions. Wow.
Yes, but in just a second, bam.
Wow.
That's some things that we don't think other games can do.
Knock down the actual set, as it were.
Yeah, we can. These are utterly destroyable environments.
Oh my!
Imagine the gameplay ramifications of being able to change a multiplayer level like that. And let me show you another thing right here that's kind of cool about that we can get in our environments that you probably won't see in other games. Using our portal engine, which is basically holes in space that connect different geometric areas, we can achieve areas of what we call hyper-realism, which probably have 20 to 30 times the polygon count that you might see in like a Quake 2 engine. And if I look right here, look at the detail in this living room.
Right.
And it's running at super fast speeds on a reasonable machine. You can go down even to the beer can.
Wow,
even
so
that.
The detail's much better.
Oh man, and it's fast, it's wonderful.
It is.
Cruise over here, turn on the fan.
What are you running on for a hardware platform?
Right now, this is a 266,
Yep.
and it's a Voodoo 2 card. So it's a pretty good system, but it's not an out-of-hand, like, psychotic demo system.
Right.
We really believe to show our demos in something that the player will probably actually have. But you've also heard a lot about portals. Well, let me show you two things that will hopefully change you, hopefully, and get some players really excited about this game. Portals, I explained, are kind of holes in space,
right,
connecting different geometric areas. Here we have our intrepid character, Talon Brave, in the game. He's sort of in a bathroom with a gun. Don't ask why. I zoom back. It's actually a portal into a different environment.
Wow.
But like our geometry that's dynamic, our portals can be handled dynamically.
Oh, my.
And I think your viewers can probably...
That is amazing.
I think people with some good imagination can start to think of the gameplay ramifications that you can get by having rips in space that you can move around like that. And I'm going to show you something.
Even three-dimensionally, so we're not even talking an up-down sort of...
Oh, no, it's arbitrary, whatever you want to do. And what's cool with portals is they're only one side. It doesn't even exist on this side. I turn around, and to show there's nothing on my sleeve, I'm now in the bathroom. So for this next little trick, I think you'll like this. If people out there are multiplayer fans, this should have great interest to them. Kind of ignore the level. It's just a little demo level, but it's really nice for showing this off. I drop something here, move over, face this way, drop it again, and I look around. I've dropped two things that look like little mines.
Right.
I activate it. Zoop. I've created a dynamic portal where I can actually see myself. And what gets even crazier here
you can shoot yourself.
I can shoot myself and splatter my own blood on the wall. So it's pretty cool. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you, because I know you guys are trying to fit a lot into this show.
Absolutely.
Will hopefully give you a nice sense of what some of the environments players might see in Prey, and also one of the cool weapons that we have. We're really pretty passionate about this game, not only as a technology platform, but also for something that is really going to get players excited about the story and the world.
It seems even more immersive, even with your variable geometry of the buildings and things falling down and falling apart. That's real life. It's not like, well, that wall's invulnerable, I'll just keep shooting at it.
Oh, absolutely.
You could be in a glass room environment and basically put yourself in danger if you don't shoot correctly.
Well, one of the things that we believe really firmly game design-wise is players really should be an agent for change in a game. That's what we really like to do. I mean, kind of put in layman's terms, people want to run around and shoot guns and blow things up.
Absolutely.
And the more that you can allow them to do, I think the more fun they'll have. And just running through there very quickly, I think you could get a sense of the scale of our environment.
Absolutely.
But let me change weapons here and to kind of end things out, show you a really cool... Okay, since you were wondering about that, the first fire mode of this weapon is pretty neat. It's just a little, very accurate weapon.
Sure.
Fire mode 2 is heinous.
Where is it? Whoa.
It's the tactical nuke weapon. I think you can see why we're really excited about Prey.
I think so.
And I hope the people who watch this show are just going to be drooling for this game. We're gonna give
I'm already drooling, so what can I say?
Cool. Well, thanks so much for visiting us.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'll see you soon.
Best of luck.
Thank you.